Mhm. Well, boys and girls, here we are. We're a 1 day closer. We just got to get to Friday and the wrestling starts. Peeps, I cannot wait till the wrestling starts. I'm going to be up in Maine at VPW. So we're going to have a lot of fun up there. But tonight, this is Stir the Pot with Don Kincaid and my very special guest, Matt Awesome. Welcome to the show, my friend. I really do appreciate you taking some time out of your life to sit and talk with us, the fans.
Of course. Yeah. What's up, everybody? What's up, Don?
Yes.
Master camera over here catching all of us do our thing. It is so appreciative what you do, my man. It is
Oh,
great. Thank you for having me. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me tonight.
uh, yeah, just for you, baby. Yes.
I love it.
I
I
mean,
love it.
how can I not with all of that love you just sent our way, my man? I mean,
Always, always.
please. First off, I thank you for that. Second off, I did not get hit by the chancla, boys and girls, right off the ripper, so we're doing good. Uh, so we are here, and we are talking to one Matt Awesome. Now, we've seen each other at the shows. We've had fun with each other at the shows, doing that fan, wrestler, performer dance that we do at the events. But we've never really got to sit and speak with one Matt Awesome. So for me, boys and girls, being a little selfish here, this is a good one. I've been waiting for this one for a minute because we couldn't get the date right and we just had to kind of change a little things. And my friend, this right now, we are at the tail end of 20 interviews in 20 days, and you are number 19, and we are at the very tail end. And it's been it's been a madhouse for a month straight, my man.
Yeah, you're built for it. So why not, man? You have to do it. If you're doing 20 for 20 and I'm number 19, oh,
Yeah.
I hope I give the next person. Who you got next?
We have out of everybody that we've had fine talent,
Okay.
and we love to get all the fine talent, male, female, it does not matter, my friend. Pick a gender. I got you all. But we have a promoter coming on for our 20th out of 20, being one James Allen out of NWWE, New World Wrestling Extreme. We've never met. We've never spoke. I only know him from a distance, and I'm pretty excited for that one as well, my friend.
Awesome. Well, I gotta leave some energy for him then for you. I gotta leave you with some energy to interview him. You know, put in some good words for your boy Matt Awesome over here. And me
Yes.
over there possibly. Let's get this on and popping, my man. I'll
Hey,
come from the Bronx over.
let's just start right there because I love talking about the talent spreading their wings, getting away from the home bases. A, scary, B, challenging. C, it's got a big question mark. You don't know your opponent. You don't know their training. You don't know how the promotion runs. What are they expecting out of you? All of these things, plus much, much more when you venture out. Um, Spreading your wings and coming to my area because I am in CT and you're obviously out of the NYC area. I've only been to NYC for wrestling twice. You guys are fucking crazy. We'll get into that. But coming up to my area in CT, it's been an absolute pleasure seeing you do your thing, having a lot of fun. And I appreciate, again, that dance between wrestler and fan. So talk to us about getting away from the Bronx because I don't know how long you've been wrestling in this area.
Well, to tell you the truth, this is where I was born and raised, South Bronx, New York. Um, these are my roots. I'll tell you 100%. I've trained here in the Bronx. I've been wrestling now for 6 years, training for 6 years, wrestling on shows for the past 5.
Okay.
So I made my break. I made my start here in the Bronx at Bronx Wrestling Federation, which is now no longer running, unfortunately. That was my home.
Just pause, and I hate to interrupt, but we will continue. I was speaking about the Bronx Wrestling Federation. I've been there twice. Those are the 2 times that I've gone over at Dario's Fitness.
Yes.
They're no longer running at all.
Oh, unfortunately, Bronco no longer has the spot with the ring. Bronco is now doing a lot of gear for people. He's the one that did my gear. He is also, as we like to call him, the sensei, the teacher. He taught me a lot too. That man can hit hard, but he trust me. You mess up, he tells you get in that corner, you're getting chopped by him and the whole class, and that's what gives us the grit and I guess the power. But he wasn't the first person to ever put me in a wrestling ring. That's the crazy thing.
Okay.
It was a wrestler by the name of Steve Pena. Steve Pena is, I would say, not only my teacher, but he is a good friend, caring friend, I would say also. We always joke, and we're literally texting each other like right now. We text on a daily basis. We check up on each other. He makes sure I'm doing what I got to do, and I stay out of trouble, and I keep the chunk line check too. But, you know, he molded me. He basically, we met at a gym one time working out, and it was because I was wearing a wrestling t-shirt. We started off with the wrestling talk, and he told me, hey, I wrestle. I'm like, oh, cool, you're a wrestler. Where you wrestle out of? And he told me, oh, I wrestle in Gleason's. You should come check us out with Johnny Rods. I'm like, all right, cool. So I went to a show like the following weekend, recorded his spot, everything he did. We talked a little bit after the show. A few months down the road, I told him, like, look, I want to learn. I want to hit the ring. I want to train. Because back in 2015, I told him I want to learn and train. He was like, cool. I'm like, but first I want to cut weight. I was weighing a lot around the time. So I cut weight, went down to like 200, 205. So I want to get in the ring. One day he's like, all right, before you do that, let me chop you. He chopped the hell out of me just so I know what it feels like. And I laughed. And he looked at me like, we're going to have fun. First day of training, Lord was with me. It was, I told him I had a gymnastics background back from high school. And he was like, oh, good. So that means you could do rolls. My rolls were pretty good. My rolls were off the bat really good. Then it came down to bumping.
That's a whole different animal, my friend.
3 bumps. I had to roll out the ring, run to the bathroom. I threw up my lunch for the past week. Got back in the ring and proceeded on doing one more bump. And then he told me, no more. Come back tomorrow. We'll train more. Mm-hmm. I'm like, that's it. He was like, I just wanted to see if you'll come back after puking. Because if you wouldn't have come back, I would have told you not to ever come back.
Right.
So I earned his respect by coming back into the ring. And ever since that day, 6 years ago, I've been bumping, hitting the ropes, doing my thing, learning. We go and train now since we no longer have the ring here in the Bronx. We go to LIC. He's also a trainer at Fallout Shelter in Long Island City, Queens. And we train and we go in. We have a good time. Like, it's me and him, and we wrestle. Like, we don't just, oh, this, that. No, we get in the ring and we chain wrestle. We get down to the nitty gritty. Then he goes, all right, come on, let's strike. And we'll just start farming the hell out of each other just to build this. So, not, like I said, not only do I, like, this man teaches me, but I trust him. And it's like a brotherhood right there between me and him. And even, like, my grandmother soul, I call her my mother because she raised me. She passed away when I started training that November, and he didn't know her. He didn't know my family. He went to the funeral to pay his respects.
Oh, wow.
And my brother-in-law and my sister spoke to him, and they were like, listen, you know, we don't live here in New York anymore. It's only him. When he's in the ring, please make sure he's safe. Take care of him. And Pena gave him his word. And that I saw, like, that meant that I impacted him as much as he impacted me. And we have that brotherhood now. So, like, I throw all my matches to him. I'm like, hey, I just finished wrestling. He's like, where's the match? I make sure I get it from your page. I throw it right to him. And he watches it. And he gives me all the feedback possible to make me better at what I do. And also, I throw all my matches to Jarrett, who's my right-hand man now in the ring, my tag team partner. We're 2/3, actually, of the Uptown Boys. There's another member. And a lot of people have seen him recently. He's been on Wrestling Open, El Johnny Santos. He is the 3rd member of the Uptown Boys.
Oh, wow. I was not aware.
But,
fun fact.
You know, scheduling, you know, he hasn't come up to Blood, Sweat, and Tears with me or PAPW with us. So, like, you know, Time will tell when,
Okay.
the full crew will grace the ring of Blood, Sweat, and Tears and, PABW. And all I really have to say about that, which I'm going to put the Matt Awesome back on for a second. I'm going to reach to the side for my other counterpart, my buddy.
Hey.
When Uptown Boys all show up to these places, it's going to be nothing but banger after banger after banger. Bring your 3 guys. It doesn't matter if the Haven wants to add an extra member of their team, maybe Ichiban, who knows? Come on. Whoever it is, 3 on 3, you got a great trio here from the South Bronx. That, Jarrett represents the Arizona, I represent the Chancla and the Coquito, and then Johnny Santos, we all know what he represents. He represents that hookah and that Dominicano life. So us 3 together, we had a match. We had a 6-man match. We had I'm gonna call it 6 diva match because it was during MV Young's Poly M Coat Party return to Brooklyn last July, and we faced off against Eddie McQueen, Aspen Rose, and Mikey Banker, and what a 6-man tag match it was. It was amazing to be in a ring with my 2 bros against them. It was so much fun. It was such an experience, especially to be a part of a show that includes so much because it's an inclusion show.
Mm-hmm.
So we had talent on there like Effie, Ziggy Haim, who else? PB Smooth, Big Game Leroy was there. If I'm not mistaken, Billy Dixon was wrestling that night. I believe Eden Surreal was there that night too with us. I know she was in the Pittsburgh show that I wrestled on too for MV Young. But it was so inclusive. Like, it doesn't matter what you represent.
Yep.
Wrestling is for you. Wrestling is for everyone. It doesn't matter. You could be an alien. You could be a dog. You can be gay, straight. Doesn't matter. Trans, non-binary. Does not matter. If you love wrestling, if it's your passion, it's for you. It's for everyone. There should never be a discrimination against that. And I always stand by that 100%. That's always been my thing. Doesn't matter. If you want to wrestle and bang with the best of us, let's go. Let's have a good time. Let's have fun. Let's be safe. Let's have fun. Let's give these people a show that they'll never forget, and they'll talk to their kids about, their friends, their family, for generations to come, for days to come, for years. It doesn't matter. They're going to talk about it. And that's what wrestling is to me. And with everybody I've trained under and everything, they always tell me the same thing. Have fun doing it. Be safe. Absolutely. Have fun. Yeah. If you are passionate about it, do it. And I'm passionate. Like, look at who's on my shirt right here. And honorary because it's Cinco de Mayo, I'm rocking my Eddie Guerrero t-shirt today. I'm not rocking my merch. I'm rocking Eddie tonight because he's a Latino. He's my favorite. But, like, you got to love it. And I know you love it. You be into action. It's like you are the John Woo of recording wrestling matches. Because you're in there. All we need is a dove and a pigeon to fly by the screen when we do our spot with your camera there. You get all the best shots. I'm telling you. I tend to, like, snippet some of your stuff, and I throw it out there, and I'm like, who caught that? I'm like, oh, go to his page. Go to his YouTube page. Subscribe. Look at his stuff. He shows so much love to us, and people just follow you and subscribe to your page to not only see their spots like I do, but to see other people's work and to see, oh, wait, there's a promotion over here. Let me look into that. So you open the door for a lot of this for us too. And I appreciate you so much. And you're always so much fun at the show. Even my girlfriend says it. She's like, that guy's always in the middle of the match. Like, he's like, he can get in the ring, you get in the ring. I'm like, listen, I'll make sure he's protected so he can get the best spots in the videos. Like, I'm with you. He's in the matches. You and Adonis are always there. Like, if Adonis isn't at a show, I'm worried. If you're not at a show, I'm worried. Because you, honestly, like, me coming up to Bridgeport, me coming up to Connecticut has been, like you said, traveling, it could be scary sometimes. Sometimes, how am I going to get there? Unfortunately, I don't have my license. Typical me. But I find my way to get there. And luckily for my cousin Chris and, of course, our favorite Harry, they make sure I get to the shows. They make sure I get there. If I'm hungry, hey, let's go get something to eat. When I get there, my cousin Chris picks me up. We hit the gym. We go eat. We head right to the show. So like it's like I dub Connecticut. I dub Bridgeport my second home
Oh, wow.
for wrestling because I've gotten a chance to showcase a new style of Mad Awesome. Because a few years ago, wrestling at BWF, yes, I was tag teaming with Johnny Santos. I wanted us to be Awesome and Santos, but they didn't. And now you guys got to need a name. So they named us You're Awesome. Because Johnny Santos would be like, You're, and I'm awesome. I'm Mad Awesome. So they named us You're Awesome.
Okay.
It stuck. It was cool. But, we wrestled our way and we meshed good. We were a good tag team. At the time, our trainer was Santana from Santana and Ortiz in AEW. He was our trainer at the time. So we were learning from him, how to work that tag team like chemistry.
Yeah, the
And we
chemistry.
got really good at it. And of course, tag teams have their turmoils and their fights and their breakups. We had our little departure in the beginning of 2020. And we made amends, and that's why we now the Uptown Boys. But I had a different style of wrestling then, and people saw me differently then. Time training with Pena Moore, training with Ghost Shadow, with Azrael, training with all these other people, going to different seminars, learning from like Two Code. Before he passed away, rest in peace, Jimmy Rave. I did a seminar with him. Jimmy Jacobs. I did a seminar with a few different people, and I've learned so much more. And I've trained with a lot of other people, like Jay Lethal and other wrestlers, that I was able to take little things from each of them and mesh it into what I call a chancla style, which is my style of wrestling. Like you see a lot of wrestlers, they do a lot of now it's fly, high, spot. No. I'm the type that I want to fight. I want to wrestle. I want to strike. I want to wrestle. A few spots here and there, a few moves, perfect. I can do it. I've trained lucha before too. I know what I can do with there. But my style is chancla style, so I'm gonna hit you like you were a little kid back in the days, and you got into an adult's conversation, and you already told, the rules, cocotazo, or I grab the chancla, and then this all hell breaks loose. That's it. No, nobody's turning back on the chancla. That's it. But I changed my style. I've studied more tape because through 2020 during the pandemic, the lockdown. Yes, I was still working. I was traveling. Sucked, but I had to. My job called for it, so I had to do it. I was studying more. I was looking at more wrestling. I was watching Japanese style wrestling. I was watching more pure style wrestling. I wanted to incorporate that into what I do because I wanted to be more safe. Of course, in this business, you look at wrestlers like Randy Orton. You look at wrestlers like Jonathan Gresham. You look at, Jay Lethal also. Lee Moriarty. They're going to have longevity. Look at Randy. Randy just celebrated 20 years, if I'm not mistaken. Longevity. He had a few injuries. But if you notice, his style changed. Bryan Danielson. Look at how his style has changed back to what he was in Ring of Honor now, which has given him a longevity in the business. So seeing them and how they train and how they wrestle is what helped me figure out the style I want to do so I can have longevity. As you notice, when I faced Sunset, that was a different style of match from when I was in that triple threat match, which was a different style of when I just finished facing Hunter or the Battle Academy. It was a completely different style every single time you saw it because this is just the meshing together of everything. So, but I can have longevity because this is what I love. This is my passion. I want to do it for as long as I possibly can. And teach the younger kids on, hey, be safe. Absolutely. You don't got to do the flip here, flip there, backflip, triple turn, triple axel, roll on your butt, kick somebody. You can do cartwheel, drop kick, lock up, wrestle, because you're going to still get the crowd behind you, regardless of the fact. Because you guys love that.
Yeah. A mixture for me is fine. all of the high spots. You get the oohs and the ahs and the pops and all of that. But like you're saying, it's smarter wrestling when you pull those reins back. Yes, I can do a lot of that lucha stuff. I mean, hey, nobody in CT has probably even seen the tip of what Mr. Matt Awesome can actually do in the ring. So what he's doing is pulling those reins back and just sprinkling in some stuff and meshing it together to make what he's doing inside that ring tell a story. That's what I'm getting from that. I mean, I am correct with all of what I've just said. Yes?
100%. There's little things you guys are getting. They'll say, you never know. You guys may get a dive. You guys got the senton off the apron for one of the shows I did. You guys may just get a suicide dive. You might get a tope. Who knows? You guys might get a frog splash off the middle rope or top rope. Who knows? Everything has its time of building, and you can't give everybody everything all at once.
Right.
You have to give it bit by bit by bit, and then they're gonna probably want one of those things back. And then the day you actually pull that back out your back pocket, like, hey, remember when I did that Uranagi off of the second rope? I can still do it. Hey, if I did that springboard, I can still do the springboard. That's what I like. Like Randy Orton does it all the time. If you look at his stuff, I bet very soon we're gonna see Randy Orton do a crossbody off the top again. He hasn't done it in years.
Making it special.
Exactly. You got to keep things to make it special.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing me and Johnny Santos did for our last tag team match together. We pulled out all the stops on purpose. We're like, everything we were working on leading up to the show, new moves, new moveset and everything, we're going to just do it all this show. Because we don't know if we're going to be a tag team after this.
Mm-hmm.
So we gave them the new kick to the legs, to the super kick to the head. We gave them this, it's called, what was it called? The Bodega Special. Pick him up, he springboards into the ring with a blockbuster while I'm giving him a spine buster at the same time. It was a cool mix. So like that was like our main finisher, and we did it in the middle of the match because we knew, you know what, we may not win this one. Let's just do it and try to win. And we did it, and it kind of backfired. But who knows? Maybe you'll see us do it again. Maybe you see me and Jarrett do it, or do an inversion part of it. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But it's always leaving the fans, leaving yourself, leaving the other workers in the back watching the match, something to see and be like, wow, I can't believe he just did that. Like that's what I want. That's the type of reaction I want from people.
Absolutely. I've done it a bunch of times. More so with the bigger stature guys that do stuff that they're not supposed to do physically. With physics and everything.
Exactly.
So usually that's when we pop a little bit more, is when the bigger stature guy, and I'll use Ryan Frost as an example.
Exactly.
If he were to get up to the top rope and do a moonsault, I would lose my ever loving effing mind. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe not to that extreme, but bigger guys do some crazy stuff, and we just lose our effing loving mind. So it's kind of the same situation, though, when, again, you make it special. It's something that you don't do every single match, and you utilize it. You maybe sprinkle it in every 3, 4, 5, 6, or maybe do it every couple months or whatever. Something like that.
Like my boy Tyree Taylor, he does you talking about moonsaults. He does a moonsault, my boy Tyree Taylor. He's a big boy. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I was on the receiving end of one time. And, that boy could go. I was if I'm not mistaken, I was his second match or first match at BWF. It was for a December show. It was a cruiserweight show, and of course they're going to have like a middleweight match, which was me. I kind of interfered in El Johnny Santos's qualifying match, trying to make him win with bad guys at the moment. Got belly to bellied out of the ring, so that was painful.
Oh, wow.
Ended up wrestling later on that night against Tyree Taylor, winning, chained up with him, wrestled a bit with him, got my ass handed to me a bit, and he hit me with a mother loving from super down south, big boy from Brooklyn, hit me with the lariat that you can hear echo Like, I want to post up. I'm gonna post up the video very soon. I may
All right.
post it up tonight as a throwback, and
Okay.
you'll probably enjoy it. But this lariat was so hard that you hear meat to meat. It was painful. And right after that, he sets up for the moonsault and lands right on me. And after that day, we became good friends. So, like, I would say a few months later down the road, a few months down the road, I would say, we ended up being a part of a tag team. It was an 8-man tag tournament back in BWF did. It was Escape from New York. And we faced off Team BWF. We went up against Sean Maluta's team in his school. So I got a chance to lock up and go toe-to-toe with some Samoan royalty. And that was painful. More painful than the clothesline. And if you watch this, I'm saying it right now, Sean Maluta hit me harder than you hit me. But don't hit me again, please don't. Unless it's a 6-man, you bring Prolific, I'll bring Uptown Boys, and we go in and we have a great match. Besides that, Sean Maluta kicked the hell out of me. He gave me a chop that I will never forget. And as they say, you should never headbutt a Samoan.
Uh-oh.
I dared myself to do so, and I did it.
Uh-oh.
But they'll say Puerto Ricans are hard-headed.
Okay.
So it was a rebound, and I'm like, okay, I can get back into this match. But I was a little dazed and confused. That's why he beat me down a little bit more. But that man hits hard. And I learned a few valuable lessons that night from him about, getting kicked by a Samoan and getting headbutted by a Samoan and sentoned and Samoan dropped and kicked in the face. It was a lot. It was a lot. But the man, he gave me a lot of feedback after that, and I took it, ran with it, got better for the next show. As wrestlers, as we do always, any feedback we get, we take it back to the drawing board, and it's not like we just throw it against it and be like, whatever. No, we throw it against it and we work with it, and we make it better next time around. So I listen to him all the time. Of course, Santana, he always tells me you a scrub, but he means it from the deepest part of his heart to tell me, like, hey, bro, we're going to work. And there's times I've been in the ring training and he's shown up and he's taught me, like, how to better my O'Connor rolls, how to better my cardio in the ring. So, like, that man blessed me with a lot of feedback. And again, I love this thing. I love wrestling and I love talking about it so much. And, like I said, you're the man with catching everything we do. You are the man.
I appreciate everything that you're sharing with us, the fans, because, and I know I've probably said this many a time throughout these past 20 interviews, we don't get to hear these stories, these conversations, the connections from wrestler to wrestler. You like, I would never know that you and Steve Pena, were like this, because that's not what we talk about at the merch table. We're buying stickers, we're buying magnets, we're buying chanclas, and stuff like that. So, wait, do you have chanclas as a merch gimmick?
Coming very soon.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta come to my table more than likely in June for the Blood, Sweat, and Tears show. Since it's a special show. It's a special show. So whoever's watching, if you don't know what's going on, this new promo will be coming out very soon with me and Jarrett talking about what's coming up June 3rd.
Okay.
It is going to be, and it's already been said, so I know everybody at Blessed 20 is going to love me for this. It's the Uptown Boys versus the hometown boys of the Haven for the Blood, Sweat, and Tears tag team titles. So,
look at that smile.
I'm going to let you in a little secret. I was there the night the Haven won their titles. I applauded them. Is it fate? We don't know. Will the Uptown Boys run the town? Who knows? I respect what the Haven do. They're a great team. I've seen them work. They're great. I can't wait. I'm excited to be toe-to-toe against these guys. Like, they have my utmost respect. So once I get in that ring with them, I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm reaching my hand out, and I want a handshake. And if I don't get a handshake,
Uh-oh.
I've been 100% honest. And listen, we've never faced off. It's the first time. It's a first time. Uptown Boys, The Haven.
I'll be there, my man.
This was supposed to happen in September.
I know.
It's happening in June.
Okay. I'll be there, eyes wide open, camera at the ready. We'll have some fun.
I want everybody to bring streamers. Bring streamers. Throw some streamers.
Really?
Into the ring.
Huh.
That's off my bucket list. I want streamers.
Oh, wow. Okay. Maybe I'll have to make a post for a bucket list of one Matt Awesome. If you bring streamers, he won't give you a chancla.
Also, I did promise a fan something at the last Blood, Sweat, and Tears show. And unfortunately, one of the guys from the Haven has to receive it since I'm facing them now. There was a little girl in the crowd. I don't know her name. She was there with her family. I know she took a picture with Big Juicy after they left my table. Her family bought my stickers. So I appreciate you guys for that. Thank you. Thank you for showing your support, coming to the show, coming over to my table to talk with me. Such an adorable little girl. Adorable. She praised me for my chancla. She loved it. So I promised her that she needs to bring a chancla to the next show for Blood, Sweat, and Tears. And I will bring whoever I'm fighting to her, and she has to hit them with the chancla. Now, whoever is reffing the match, any one of you referees who are reffing that match, do not disqualify us.
Yeah. No.
This is fan participation, and this is what is needed in professional wrestling. So we are doing this. Even if I have to take whoever that is a part of the Haven around the ring and get a chancla shot from each fan in attendance around the ring. So let it be done. So let it be written. I will be doing that.
So let it be done. Let it be written.
I have spoken. This is the way.
This is the proclamation of one Matt Awesome.
I would do it. But especially for her. I didn't get a chance to catch the family's name. So there are pictures. I saw Big Juicy put up a picture of them. I think you actually took pictures of them too. But I want to make sure that she's there. And if I can get a hold of them before the show, I want to know what her T-shirt size is. Because I may have to bless her with the new chancla style T-shirt.
I have seen that. Very colorful, very vibrant.
It's actually an inspiration of a Japanese style artwork.
Okay.
It was there was a gentleman. He did Jarrett and his other team's logo, and I'm like, bro, that's really cool. Like, who did it? So he sent me the person's Instagram. I hit him up. I'm like, hey, my name's Matt Awesome. I'm a wrestler out the Bronx. I wrestle with a chancla, and I wanted to see what your rates are for artwork. And he was like, and we started like throwing ideas before I even found out his rates. And then he told me his rates. I'm like, oh, cool, perfect. I'm with it. Let's do this. So I threw the ideas at him, and I'm like, I call it chancla style, and it's my style, my personal style. In fact, I'll tell you guys a story about the chancla in a minute. So basically, I threw ideas. He was like, so like the Japanese scrolls, when they show like the samurai with the sword or their fighting style, I'm like, yeah, that type of artwork. He was like, and who you want to be fighting? I'm like, that's a good question. He was like, how about an abuela, like an evil abuela with chanclas, but evil chanclas, and you're fighting her with two chanclas? I'm like, yes. And let's incorporate the Puerto Rican flag somewhere and the name chancla style. And he sent me the draft. I'm like, I love it. Let's do it. And that's then awesome. On the shirt, I'm like, how about we put something that's more of my culture of the Taino sun? Because, of course, I'm Puerto Rican. So he was like, sweet. So he found one, put it in there, hooked it up. I'm like, I love this. Got it now. It's up and running right now. You can get the link on my Facebook. I just posted up the link the other day. It's at Brainbuster Tees. If you type in Mad Awesome, you'll see that's the new logo there, and that's where it's at. Hats, t-shirts, tank tops, onesies, you name it, it's there.
Nice.
Even varsity jackets. It's crazy. I have a varsity jacket of it. So.
Oh wow.
But I got that. But I will have chanclas in June. I will be selling chanclas in June because everybody's been asking for them. I'm gonna go down to Canal Street. I'm gonna go see whichever area has chanclas. Be like, give me a box. Here's the money. And I'm going to Bridgeport, and I'm selling chanclas.
Yes.
If you bought one before the match, you can use one against a member of the Haven.
Oh wow! Wow, what a deal that is. That's amazing.
And you guys can pick. I will do a poll on which member of the Haven will get hit with the chancla.
Oh wow! This interaction that you speak of, absolutely love it, my friend. We've been talking. It's been a big focus on these 20 of 20, the interactions, the connection, if you will, between fan and performer. Absolutely love all of what you're putting out there. That is just beautiful stuff. Before you give us the story of the chancla, because if I would be remiss if we did not speak of how the chancla became of getting new, and I know new merch is an animal of its own, but getting a new shirt with a new logo and just getting that excitement. It's like Christmas. It's like your birthday. It's like a few things all wrapped into one, and the excitement. It's almost like you're a kid again for a little bit, and this adrenaline and everything. You're like, you want the fans to check it out, so they grasp on to what you're putting out there. You seem to be very excited, my man.
I love it. The new logo. It's every one of my designs, every one of my logos. They mean something to me. Mm-hmm. It's not like I forget about one because I got the new one. It's not like a kid like, oh, I got this new shiny toy. Forget about this old toy. No, for me, each of my logos mean something different. Like the baby Yoda with the chancla. That was my very first ever design. It was designed by my best friend, Jay Stees. He's a very close friend of mine. We met at work. And we just so happen to have a close friend that's mutual, who is the wrestler by the name of Mantequilla. Mantequilla trained me also. He was one of my trainers. Good friend of ours. And we were roommates for a little while, me and Joaquin. Well, his name is Joaquin. And he was like, yo, since you like, Grogu so much, let me draw this for you. So he drew it, and he threw a chancla in his hand. I'm like, yo, I love it. He was like, here. So my first ever merch was the baby Yoda with the chancla. So that was one. The second logo was made by the lady who does the artwork for Young Bucks.
Okay.
Or like the ending of Being the Elite, that little animation that they have. Mm-hmm. She drew that, and she also drew my second design, which is of me holding the chancla. Nice. And that was special to me because it's of actually me. And my third logo was done by another friend of mine, Eddie Diaz. He did the one that everybody saw that's the hands like this with the chanclas. It says Mad Awesome on it. He designed that one, and that one means a lot to me because I'm an 80s baby. So the 80s, early 90s is me growing up. So that's my retro feel. That's retro me. And he actually got the concept of me like this from a picture of me, Billy Dixon, and Hot Dog Starks, because we're all three Bronx boys, and we took a picture at the MV Young show, and I posted up. So he took that as an idea and just messed around with it and created that T-shirt. And then now the new one, which is really incorporates chancla style and my heritage. So it's each thing means something different, and it means something to me.
That's awesome, man. That is so very cool. See, it's like when people, put tattoos. Everything has a representation or what have you. Doing it with your merch is absolutely amazing. And I don't have a shirt, but I do have the Yoda with the chancla sticker. Cute as a button. Yes. I love that fucking thing. That's so cute.
Look at the tattoo on my forearm right here.
Oh,
that's the representation. That's from my That's for my my mom, my grandmother who passed away, who raised me. I keep her on me at all times. She's in the ring with me all the time. Now, like I needed to have something of her to take to the ring with me. So that's what it is right there. So yeah.
We have around 20 minutes ish. So I want to fit in a few things.
Okay.
We're going to go the story of Chancla. Where did this all come from? I feel it's a childhood thing from nightmares, waking up in cold sweats. Also, Steve Pena, I love that guy to absolute pieces. I love everything he does in the ring, his look, his presentation. Absolutely love Steve Pena. I do not even see nearly enough of him. I see him so very rarely around my area. My second question would be, have you ever gone against Steve Pena in a one-on-one in the ring? Oh wow, look at that. Okay, that's already answered.
Training, yes.
Okay.
We've done training, but honestly, I don't know how that match will turn out. I know how that match will turn out. There will be an ambulance called for me, not him. And the Chancla will not be involved whatsoever because I respect him too much that this will be out the window. No Chancla for him. It'll be a rough one for me, a mountain for me to climb, but I know it'll be a great learning curve for me to see really where I'm at.
Yeah, the experience you could gain from going against a guy who's been in your wrestling career, your whole career at this point. That experience, yeah, that experience is totally priceless. And that Chancla, if you ever brought that to the ring with one Mr. Pena, he would look at you, he would shine that sumbitch up, he would turn it sideways, and he would shove that sumbitch right up your ass. You do know
probably
that, right?
bite it and eat it. Who knows? But he's Latino, so that's the thing. In a Latin culture, in a Latin home, this is one of the most feared weapons.
Please, the story.
It's a few things. But yeah, the story's coming. You see already. Chancla is the most feared object that a parent can grab and proceed on opening a can of whoop ass on their child. And it's not only a Latin home. This goes through any home because this is the quickest, fastest, lightest, aerodynamic piece of material. I don't know why God created it. Anybody can use to really hurt someone. Now, the story about this one. This one was anointed, okay, by 1,000 abuelas. Now, the person who got anointed for me was Diamante. Diamante is my prima. Love that girl to death. You know, she's also taught me a lot. And the moment I said, you know what? I think I need to incorporate some more culture into my style, into my character, to me. Something that's a part of me to an extent. I've had a few ass whoopings with one of these guys growing up. I also have another punishment that I'm waiting to use. Possibly if I do another hardcore match.
Okay.
It'll be painful for that person. But I'm not gonna spoil the surprise. I'm gonna leave that.
That's okay. That's okay.
I think only Pena knows about this surprise. I spoke about it. Besides him calling me the dumbest person in the world to use Legos. It was a dumb move. I did it. Oh well. Maybe do it again. Maybe not. So I told her, I'm like, you know what, Prima, I think I want to start using a chancla. She looked at me and was like, Primo, you know I use a chancla. She was like, I use it. Ortiz uses it. So I spoke with Ortiz, and I'm like, bro, is it cool if I incorporate chancla into my style? And he looked at me, he goes, you know, it's a serious thing. That's a dangerous tool. It's a dangerous weapon. Only a few of us can handle it. Handle the power of one. Especially a special one. I'm like, I know. He's like, but I bless you, you can use it. I'm like,
oh,
cool.
wow.
So I spoke with Diamante because she used it too at one point. She was like, I got you, Primo. So one day, hanging out in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey, where most of the shows go on. So if you're ever in the New Jersey area, Pro Wrestling Magic goes on there. A lot of other wrestling shows goes on there. We're there. I was doing a promo and I couldn't find my chancla. Talking with Johnny Santos, I couldn't find my chancla. She comes up, her and Tasha steals, and they're like, Primo, we got you. Here. I'm like, it's glowing. Why is it glowing? What did you do to my chancla? She was like, this was blessed by 1,000 abuelas from the block.
Wow.
So this has the power of 1,000 abuelas with one shot.
Wow.
So when I hit somebody, everybody feels it. So not everybody around the ring, everybody in that person's family, ancestry, generational pain happens. They may not physically feel it at the moment, but when they're done with the match, they're like, like, that's how it feels. It's one of those like background pains. And that's where the chancla came from. So I've had people come up to me at shows saying, oh, I love the chancla. It's amazing. The little girl, I love your chancla. It was great. I had somebody say, look at me, and they had the most serious face. I kid you not, they were like, PTSD, man. Like, I don't know whether to shake your hand, or to cry, or to run away, or to laugh. Damn, that's scary. I remember when I got beat one. I'm like, sorry? I hope you enjoy it, though. And he was like, yeah, man, it was good, but damn, you beat them. I'm like, don't mess with me. I get it. So that's the story of this guy. So don't worry, you're safe. You're safe.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
I will have chanclas to sell for fans.
Yeah. Yes. I already had the title of this episode right off the ripper, probably within the first couple minutes. I try to take what the talents are speaking, and I try to pull a line of what they've said, and I splash it in quotation marks and call each episode different. And this episode, again, right from the first 2 or 3 minutes, was already called Wrestling is for Everyone. I thought that was a beautiful, beautiful message.
It is.
But now, it's not. The title of this episode is The Power of 1,000 Abuelas. There is no way that this episode is not being called that.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Let it be known. It's 1,000 abuelas up in that one chancla. It was blessed. Maybe next week at Alley Fights, maybe Mr. Lucas Chase. I was called Lucas Cage. Wow.
He called him by the wrong name. That's amazing. Oh, go ahead.
Lucas Chase will feel the chancla possibly.
Oh, now me personally, I would love to see that.
I know you would. You would. But let's see, because you know what? I've been looking at Lucas Chase. I've been seeing how he works. I saw who he trained with. He's doing his thing, and I respect it.
Mm-hmm.
I respect it. You know, Hall of Famer trained him. Mm-hmm. I respect it.
Absolutely.
First ballot Hall of Famer. When it comes down to it, Dustin's going in there. But it's time to prove something, honestly. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of people see me and they don't think I can bang with the best of them. Lucas is one of those.
Time to show him.
Lucas is good in the ring. Like,
yes.
With everything going on with him and, you know, everybody else that he's like feuding with, mm-hmm. The man could work.
Yeah.
And I enjoy watching him work.
Yeah. And he has a anytime, anywhere contract.
Yeah. Now he's working with me.
Mm. Wow.
So let's see what happens on Saturday. Let's see. Hey, maybe I may be cheering for Matt Austin. I may be cheering for Lucas. I may be yearning. I may be saying he's the cure. I may have a cure for his poison. Who knows?
Mm. You said Saturday, not Friday?
I'm wrestling Saturday night. Mm. I'll be there May 14th. It's the doubleheader, I know. And I wanted to be wrestling on Friday the 13th because I wanted to go in there with the power of Jason Voorhees.
Oh wow.
The
Oh
power of
wow.
Jason Voorhees.
Oh, holy shit.
I got Jason on the arm, machete and all. I wanted to go up in there and give the Cure a little bit of a taste of his own medicine. But it has to be pushed to the next day. That's perfectly fine.
Oh well.
If you're not going to be there, I hope you are. Somebody will get all the action. Don't worry. You're going to be smiling. You'll be smiling.
All right. Well, Foggy does. Fogman, he does a fine job of getting the footage as well. I'm sure I'll be catching some of that. I will be there on the first day of the double shot of alley fights.
Let's see if I get out of work early enough to shoot up that way. I may be there chilling with you guys.
All right.
Scouting talent. I'm always scouting talent.
Imagine that, boys and girls.
Be the next victim of a chancla shot. Who knows?
Yes. Having Matt Awesome hanging out with us at a show with a chancla at the ready. Oh,
you know you're safe. You're safe.
Being at PAPW has brought in the fans' eyes. It's gotten more eyes on one said Matt Awesome. Being at BST has gotten more eyes. Being at SGW on their debut has gotten more eyes. Okay, I gotta pause right there. SGW. All right, we're in Bridgeport. It's the debut. They will be returning. They just had little kinks. SGW. To my left, we have a couple of kids, a couple of adults. To my right, we have a couple of kids, we have a couple of adults. But to my left is one Matt Awesome's family. Now, we have a guy in Ransom. Now, I've only seen Ransom once. I think I only really legit seen him one time wrestle. And we made sorts of a connection on an STP. And I was so stoked that he was on that bill. And he was going against none other than Lorenzo Vendetta from the Battle Academy. Meow. He was going against one Lorenzo Vendetta. So I was absolutely stoked to see Vendetta get his ass kicked.
Oh, he got the coquito cutter.
I know. I knew that was coming from a mile away. But boys and girls, and I know I spoke to Ransom on this, but if you haven't watched the Ransom episode, I'm going to go through it real quick. He takes Vendetta, brings him outside the ring, puts him up against the ring, chops him. We all love it. He brings him over to a child to my right. He says, "You want to give him some?" The kid punches him, punches Mr. Vendetta legit in the gut. And Vendetta's like, oh, the kid hauled off and punched him right in the stomach. So then he goes over to my far left where Mr. Awesome's family was, and he says the same thing. And this little kid, he puts down whatever he had in his hands, and he pulls his fist back, and he punches Vendetta right in the mouth. And it was some of the most amazing, just wholesome shit I could see right there. And I know I'm not supposed to swear with wholesome and violence all mixed together. That was wrestling, and I absolutely loved every millisecond of it. And not only that, it didn't stop there. I got to chop Mr. Vendetta too. And not only that, he told me to hold Vendetta so he could chop him. And I gave the camera to said kid to my right, and I held Vendetta. Ransom did the thing. It's all on film. We had a fucking blast. I clipped it. Woo!
Yeah, my mom saw it and died laughing. My brother was dying laughing. I took a snippet of the actual punch, and I'm like, why did he punch him in the face? He had so many other spots to pick. He picked his mouth. He punched him in the mush. That's cool. So, and he was like, hey, he learned from the best. His cousin's in the ring. His cousin is the master of chancla style, the prince of chancla style, the prince of
chancla style.
And so it's, I laughed. I saw that clip. I'm like, hoping that is okay. Not really, but yeah. But listen, it was great wrestling the people from the Battle Academy. I can't say that. Like, Hunter brought it. Hunter brought it, but it wasn't enough.
No, it's Ransom. Come on. The Battle Academy. Hold on for a second on that Battle Academy. That whole match uh, gave us wrestling. It gave us the entertainment value. It gave us good guy, bad guy. It gave us hands-on interaction with the talent. And not only that, for the fifth thing I'm going to say, it gave us memories for me, the kids, your family, yourself as a performer, seeing your family at an event in the middle of all of this. But not only was all of that very cool, Jake Lynn on the side, I'm going to point out and really kind of push this kid up a little bit. Jake Lynn had a bad wing. He's in a sling, which I was pointing and laughing at him, of course. Now, he is begging anybody that Ransom is bringing Mr. Vendetta to get give the business to. He's got $1 in his hand, and he's begging people not. He's begging those kids, and the kids even take $1. He was even trying to bribe me with $1. But not only that, you know how like a performer will get the crowd to do shh, so you can really hear what's about to happen. Ransom is doing that while while Jake Lynn is over there to the side. No, I am making noise. I will not be quiet. Dude, that kid Jake Lynn is effing money, and I hate him, but I really love him. I mean, absolutely.
I have to wrestle him eventually.
I know. It's coming around because his wing is better.
No, he interfered in my match.
I know.
I gave him a nice little slap across the face, and I grabbed the chancla and I grazed him with it. I didn't give him the full shot. It was a graze. That's why he was able to grab me again. Because if I would have really hit him,
if anybody deserves the power of 1,000 Abuelas, it's one Jake Lynn. I like to call him Nick because that's not even close to his name. So I just randomly call him Nick, and that's what I call him every time I see him. Every time in a promo, he's Nick to me and will always be. And it's amazing. And not only that, a fun fact, I interviewed him and he said back in school, people would call him Nick for whatever reason. He had no fucking clue. So it's kind of weird how full circle. I'm just randomly calling him Nick out of all names. Out of all names I could have grabbed out of the air, I call him Nick. But fine talent, having a blast with the Battle Academy. Meow. Now, Matt Awesome, you have given us so much information about yourself, your career, your upbringing with Mr. God, I love Mr. Pena. With Mr. Pena, some of the other fine talent. Mr. Starks, I absolutely love me some. I'm not a hot dog guy, but I'm a hot dog Starks guy. I love that.
Hot dog is the man. That's one of my punk bros right there. He's cool. We've trained before. He's a good dude. We talked about possibly going face to face. The chancla versus the dog. Who knows?
Hey, and he's evolved. We talk about evolution on the show an awful lot. He's evolved into Mr. Nasty Bun or something's going on over there.
But
Bun Nasty. That's what it is. Bun Nasty. Yes, I love
Bun Nasty. I would love to take on any one of them. Bun Nasty, the Bundertaker. Doesn't matter. Come on.
He said the Bundertaker.
It will be chancla style versus whoever. Like chancla style versus everyone.
I've talked to Mr. Starks and he gave us some of his monikers. I peed myself. I think I really did. I think I peed myself.
But you know what? That just proves he's good at reinventing himself. Just like one Chris Jericho, very good at reinventing himself. Starks could do that. And
absolutely.
He's another one that has been instrumental in how I've molded myself into where I'm going now. So like he's like I said, like I had a good conversation with a customer today at my job, and her one rule of life is being positive and putting positivity into the air every single day, no matter how you feel. You need to live life. You need to be positive. And she was like, you must always wake up and turn the frown upside down. And the more positivity you put out in the world, the more positivity you will receive and better things will happen. So on a daily basis, I try to be as positive as possible and throw positivity into the world, because right now the world is a very, weird place. I'm going to say weird. I'm not going to say anything else but weird. And we do need a lot of positivity for what's going on in the world. People, there's
so,
violence everywhere. There's things going on there, and
so you
there's
beat people with a
positive
chocolate.
reinforcement sometimes.
Yeah,
But
so you beat people with a chocolate.
positively beat them.
Okay.
But you have to be positive, because if you put nothing but negativity into the universe, that's what you're gonna get back. You're
Yeah,
not gonna be able to achieve what you want to achieve. You know,
absolutely.
everybody tells me, why wrestling?
Hmm.
Because I love it. I grew up loving it. It was a passion. It was an escape for me. When my grandmother passed away, my mom who raised me, um, she she loved the fact that I found something that I loved. When I told her, Mom, I'm going to start training, she told me, okay, you have my best wishes. Just be safe.
Nice.
If you get hurt and you go to the hospital, if you call me, I'll go to the hospital. But whatever you broke, whatever you hurt, I'm going to beat it. So that was her telling me, just be safe. And
Yes.
she loved The Rock. So that was her husband. So Dwayne, if you ever watch this, my mom loved you. I would love to talk with you. Just have like a one-on-one talk, maybe a little training session. Who knows? Just don't throw so much things on me, because I may collapse. But she loved the fact that I found something that I was passionate about and that I loved. And it wasn't like I was putting everything on hold for it. I was there to live my dream.
Hmm.
And it doesn't matter. I don't have to be on TV every week. I don't have to, you know, be in every video game that comes out. But as long as I'm hitting the ring and I'm wrestling with people who love it as much as I do, I'm living the dream, no matter
Hmm.
what. Let it be two people in the crowd, let it be 20,000 in the crowd. I'm still living my dream, and I'm on this crazy, funky, fun ride with
Yeah.
each and every one of you guys, even you, because
Yeah.
you have become such a positive reinforcement of a fan. Either you're
Thank you.
booing me or you're cheering me. You're a positive reinforcement of a fan enjoying what I do.
Hmm.
And that goes for Adonis too, because I know he's going to watch this. All of you guys in the crowd, to even the people that are here in New York, the New York scene fans that loved to watch whenever I was in the ring with Johnny Santos as we would team up against, you know, East Coast Syndicate, who is now Fight or Die.
Fight or
Uh,
die. Yeah.
Fight or Die. Those are my boys. Those are my bros. We fought each other so many times. We have so many great matches against each other, and every single match got better and better and better.
Hmm.
And those guys, I love them to death. Barton, Dom hits hard. Dom is a hard hitter. He rocked me 3 times, no, 2 times really good in the match. He knocked me out twice,
Oh,
busted
wow.
my lip and everything, and we continue to go at it. And that man, like, we see each other, we talk, whatever. But you know, from wrestling with them, the fans that were there booing them or cheering them, booing me and cheering me, to the fans in Jersey who I've wrestled in front of, even Mittens. Mittens, he keeps it alive over there.
Hmm.
You know, Tiffany, the who runs who was doing Under the Ropes for the interviews. Another good fan. She also has a podcast. You guys are what makes the business what it is, and like fuels me to get in the ring and do 10 times better than every time I've done before. And I appreciate you. I appreciate all the fans, even if you bought my merch or just looked at my merch or bought a sticker, not bought a sticker, cheered me, booed me, whatever it was.
Hmm.
If it's not for you guys are my positive feedback every single day. The reason why I put positivity into the universe every day is to wake up so that Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, if I'm wrestling and I'm putting on a show for you guys. And I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for you guys and Steve Pena.
Thank you for all the love that you just showered on us, the fans, because we go to wrestling. I mean, obviously, some of us have other hobbies or that we enjoy, maybe different sports or whatever. We go to wrestling. I personally go to wrestling for a very specific reason, and many others do. It's just to escape and get the fuck away from the bullshit. Get away from work, get away from home, get away from the bills. You walk in there, it's an escape. There's a little bit of reality mixed with fantasy. You have the characters, you have the violence, you have the entertainment, you have all sorts of stuff that really builds this thing that we call wrestling. that I enjoy as a fan, and I thank you for showering us with some of that love and reciprocation, because we're always showering you guys, because that's who we see. That's who we see perform. So I absolutely appreciate that reciprocation. Um,
You
before
guys
I
need
let you
your
go,
flowers. Y'all need your flowers. And I'm going to give you flowers now.
before I let you go, there's one specific topic we have not talked about.
Okay.
Out of all the names in the universe, why are we at Matt Awesome? And was Matt Awesome your name from the beginning? And what if it wasn't Matt Awesome? Please tell me it was something wacky, like when Kane was a Christmas creature or something shit like that.
Okay. So, Matt Awesome has always been Matt Awesome. And there's a reason why Matt Awesome has always been Matt Awesome. Because Matt Awesome is exactly what it is. My name is Matthew, but I shortened it for wrestling, of course, and I'm Matt. The Awesome came around because a lot of people think it's because of The Miz, and it's not because of The Miz. I respect the man, but it's not because of The Miz. People say Mike Awesome. He was a bit of an impact to me growing up watching ECW, sneaking to watch it at night. So that kind of stuck with me a little bit. But every single time a person would talk about me to another person, they'll say, "Oh man, Matt, yeah, he's an awesome guy. He's so awesome." So it just stuck with me, and I'm like, you know what, Matt, awesome. And then also when people do things, they're like, "Yo, that was Matt Awesome, yo." So I'm like, Matt Awesome. No, that wasn't awesome. That was Matt Awesome. That's and when people say that was awesome, hey, yeah, that's me. That was me. That was me. You're cheering. That was me. So that's where that came from. There is also someone inside of me that when I get very angry and you see me striking up a storm and trying to put people in holds, that's Matt Henry coming out.
Matt Henry?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's the Matt Henry in me, because my middle name is Henry. Just so you guys know, it's out there now. It's canon now. My middle name is Henry.
Wow.
Henry was given to me by my stepfather, who passed away. That man taught me what it is to respect somebody, and when somebody disrespects you, exactly what to do. So he kind of taught me how to fight a bit. So when I get angry, I channel him.
Oh, wow.
So when you see me start striking and you see the eyes get big and I get red and I get angry, that's Henry coming out.
Oh, wow.
Even though it ends up being an awesome match, still Matt Awesome, but that's the Henry in me coming out. So
very interesting.
Keep that in mind when you see that happen.
I will,
but
because
I'll always
now
be Matt Awesome. I will always be the Prince of Chancla style. El Rey de Coquito.
Okay.
Matt Awesome. That's always going to be me.
Well, I think you fucked me up for every match you're going to have, because now I'm going to be looking for that wild-eyed Henry to seep out of you.
All I'm saying is that if Lucas brings them out.
Hey, switch that to Friday, by the way.
Talk to the powers that be. I will switch my day off.
Mr. Awesome, you have been simply amazing with all the information. I know I kind of said that a little bit ago. You've been just absolutely amazing, just hanging out, talking to us, the fans, and really chit-chatting and really pulling the curtain back, and just kind of, that's what the show is for, so we can learn about the talent. And that's kind of why I started this. I wanted to hear the background stories. May it be real life, or may it be where you started. Whatever you guys and girls want to give us, the fans, this is the platform. So that I'm offering. So it's a wide open platform. That's why I don't care if you're white, black, tall, skinny, straight, gay, however you want to perceive yourself. I don't give a rat's ass. We're here.
Wrestling is for everyone.
I know. Don't make me change the title. I can't do that to the Abuelas. Don't make me do that. And I actually still have plenty more to go. We've been about an hour and 10-ish minutes. But if we take everything out of Mr. Awesome now, we won't have anything for the return, hopefully, maybe 6 months, 12 months down the road, we never know. See what Matt Awesome is up to, and we have a return of. Does that sound
Listen,
okay?
how about promise this to me?
Oh,
One promise from you.
okay.
If, only if, the Uptown Boys are victorious on June 3rd, you don't just bring on me, you also bring on Jared Diaz and myself, and possibly El Johnny Santos. So you have all three of us for one day, or you could just have me and Jared. It's up to you, your call, and that's only if we are victorious on June 3rd.
Well, first off, I can't breathe. Okay, now I can. Second off, trying to catch my breath still. Second off, I would love to have any version of the Uptown Boys. I did not know there was a third until you've enlightened me at the top of this interview.
You can watch the match on my YouTube channel. It's on my YouTube. You can watch me, us three, go at it.
I would love to have all three. Now, are we talking live at the event, or are we talking an STP like this on the old Skype?
However you want to do it.
I would do it live.
Show, if we win at the show, if you want to do it live that day, talk with management of Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and we can get it going.
And it would not be no hour and a half. It would be, maybe just like a 5-minute. Because let's just put it on the table. If you are victorious, that means, boys and girls, that means that the Uptown Boys would be BST Tag Team Champions. So I would be able to have the outlet, the platform to talk to said new champions if that happens and share it with you, boys and girls. If we can make that happen, hey, and I'm not wishing for the Haven to lose those belts by any stretch of the imagination. I love me some Haven, Mr. Sean Knight and Mr. Jay Onyx. I am not wishing that on that, but I kind of almost am, because now I want to do that post interview with you guys.
Listen, like I said, if that happens, because I know it's going to be a battle between the both teams. Like I'm not saying, I'm not throwing shade at them or nothing. I'm not at all whatsoever, because like I said, I respect them. I respect their style. I respect what they do in the ring, and they've held those titles, and they've held them proudly, and they've defended them proudly, and they've been undefeated with them.
Yeah.
But it's about time that a guard should change.
Oh, wow.
But then again, I know it's gonna be a battle to do so.
Absolutely.
And I'm not just sitting on my ass. Nah, I'm hitting the gym hard. I'm training hard. I see what they do. I study tape. I'm a state study. I study tape. That's all I do. I study all types of wrestling. And whoever I'm facing, I go and I watch their tape.
Okay.
I see where they have their flaws. I see their openings where I may have to incorporate something of Chancla style to them.
Oh, wow.
So Jarrett, he's very strategic in what he does too. So when you have two people who are as passionate as we are for the business and what we do in the ring against two gentlemen who are as passionate as we are, nothing but magic will happen. So for those who are cheering for the Haven and who are cheering for Uptown Boys, we want you guys to be as loud as possible. We want to make sure everyone gets their money's worth, gets that escape, like you said, from reality, and also has something to talk about for days, years, generations to come.
Absolutely. We take those memories not only on the road home, my friend, but like you said, we speak about them. Like there's certain things that just trigger. You could see something at a store. You could see something at a light. You could be hanging watching TV. Something triggers. You'd be like, oh my God, you remember? You remember that time? So these things do last with us as fans. And I know, and I've spoken to this with the talent. it's on the reverse role. Some of these things hang, these memories, they hang with you, the talent, as well, down the road for years to come as well. And I find that such a just an amazing thing, that the performer and fan, and I know it happens at, rock shows and, football games, and I know,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying that wrestling is, so unique where it's its own animal, but it almost kind of is. And I'm telling you, the memories that we do make as talent and fans that we both bring home, absolutely amazing that we can share that love and talk. That's the biggest thing, though. It's not like the football, a big football star. He might have certain memories, but he'll never speak to said fan like we are right now, ever. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? That's a
Exactly.
that's a major difference between wrestling.
You know what's funny though? You know who I learned like this from? Like talking, with fans, or kind of pulling the curtain back a little bit, but also being a talker when it comes to like cutting promos and everything.
If you say Brother Greatness, I swear.
Believe it or not, I've wrestled against Brother Greatness at least 3 times.
Okay.
There's video on it. I beat
Okay.
him twice. So,
Oh.
yeah, I beat him twice. But triple threat match and a tag team match, I beat him. So, anyways, back off that. A lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh wow, really him?" But it was EC Negro.
Oh,
He was a part
okay.
of Dirty Rotten Scoundrels years ago.
Yeah.
Back in the Ring of Honor days.
Yeah,
Great
but he's a talker.
Great talker.
Yeah.
Whenever in the very beginning, when I first started training and everything, and Pena noticed I was a good talker. I was good in cutting promos. I would cut promos, and Negro would be like, "Send me your stuff so I can see." So I sent it to him. He was like, "Try to do it like this. Turn this up a little bit. Turn this down a bit. Do it like this." And I would go right into it, and he's like, "Gold. Keep doing promos like that. Keep doing promos like that." So every single promo I've done has been a little different each time, but I kept the same style.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice it, like, because one thing I learned from him is that he was like, don't stay in the same area doing the same promo in the same spot, because it's going to get dull. Don't always do your promos like this. Don't always do that.
And since we're talking promos, no cars. Please stop with the cars, the seatbelts, and sitting in your car. Please don't.
It's cool, but it's played out. So a lot of my promos, if you look back at some of them, I do them in areas that signify the Bronx, that signify New York City. So I did a promo a while back with Johnny Santos. It got put up, and I took it down out of respect, because somebody else, a bigger wrestler, did a promo in the same spot within the same few days that we did our promo, dropped it on the same day as us, so I pulled ours, because out of respect for them, because they're more up there than we are. So I did out of respect.
Okay.
And it was in front of the Big Pun mural here in the Bronx, which I don't live too far from. And we cut it in front of that mural, and it was a great promo. Music in the background. I put a Big Pun song in the background. We cut a good promo. I had one of my boys at #Dope. He edited it for me. He did a good job with it. It saw the light of day for about maybe like 3 hours, and then it got taken down. Then we did another promo, me and then Johnny Santos, and we did it on High Bridge here in the Bronx, which is the bridge that connects to the west side of Manhattan from the Bronx. The west side of Manhattan from the Bronx, and it's not that far from the George Washington Bridge. So we're literally sitting on the bridge. They brought out their drone so you can see the whole bridge and everything around it, and it came down to us while we're sitting on the bridge smoking hookah, of course. And we cut such a great promo sitting there, and then walked off, and the drone came up and watched us walk off the bridge. And that's a landmark in the Bronx, because the High Bridge has been there for ages. Right. I've done a promo in front of the Bronx Native Shop, which is a bit of a staple in the community. Done one there. I've done one off. Oh, in fact, the one I did for Hunter was off of the Henry Hudson River.
Okay.
Right on the West Side Highway, right by 70. I want to say 83rd Street in the west side of Manhattan. I did it right off of the water.
Mhm.
So I like to incorporate different parts of New York City in all of my promos because that's where I'm from. It's my home.
Nice.
So I try my best to incorporate little areas. One of my very first
Mhm.
promos was around Yankee Stadium.
Oh wow.
Me on the 4 train, me
Yeah.
in my actual building where I grew up at, going into the elevator, coming out the elevator. It was like I did it just to show where I'm from.
Mhm. Nice.
So I was always told do stuff like that so people know where you're from and where you're bringing it from. So that's one person who was really good when it came for me cutting promos. And then of course watching wrestlers like Eddie Kingston, who's been like another person I've actually had a good conversation, a good time being under his learning tree a little bit and learn a few things from him
Mhm.
in the past. And then Homicide too, like listening to them the way they cut their promos, it's helped me.
Yeah.
It's helped me a long way. And then with Pena, we always throw ideas off each other when it comes to promos too. So,
Right.
but yeah, that's what it is, like the talking part, and like the fact that I can pull the veil back a bit and talk with you, and let the fans know that hey, I'm like you guys. The only difference is I'm crazy enough to get in that ring and do what I do. I'm living the dream for people who feel that they can't and wish they can. And if it wasn't for you guys, again, like I said before, if it's not for you guys fueling us, we wouldn't be
Mhm.
doing what we do at all.
Well, I appreciate you taking that job over because I'm built like a candle. I break like peanut brittle. I shatter. So I appreciate you getting in a ring for me because I can't. I'm not that guy.
Once you get a chancla, you'll be safe though. Once you buy a chancla, you'll be safe.
With the power of 1,000 abuelas, hell
I'm
yeah.
gonna see if I can stop by a retirement home and there's a whole bunch of abuelas and see if I can get the whole box blessed before I go, so everybody can have a blessed chancla
that, that
when
would
they
be,
buy it.
please video that some bitch. If it's all possible, video that some bitch. That would make for some fantastic content. If you can get the rights released from said patients or said place, dude, that would be some money shit. Uh,
I'll figure it out.
we,
I'll figure it
we,
out.
we have had such an amazing time with Mr. Awesome. And before I do let you go, I want you to be able to give us the details so the fans who don't know you can find you, or the fans that do know you but don't know your stuff can find you. If you've got a Twitter, an Insta, a Pornhub, whatever you've got going on,
Everything.
please share it. And not only that, uh, if you could, at least send us in a direction for one Johnny Santos and one Jarrett Diaz. And I want to be specific, boys and girls. Jarrett Diaz, Jar. There's only one R. ETT. There's only one R and Jarrett. Everybody wants to spell it, even on the damn match cards with two R's. It's one R. So please give us that info if you could.
Sure, no problem. So you can find me on Instagram at Matt_awesome17. I'm posting up on there. I post real life stuff and I post my wrestling on there most of the time. You can find me on Twitter at Mr_rated R17. So Mr. Rated R, which
Oh,
is
wow.
the rated R superstar, one of my favorites. That's where I got that gimmick from. So Mr_rated R17. And then you can find me, of course, on Facebook, of course, Matthew Carvalho. That's me. And TikTok, you can find me, Matt Awesome17. I post up some fun TikToks
Okay.
and wrestling TikToks. And you could see a lot of wrestlers on there too with me.
Nice.
What else I got? And on YouTube, you type in Matt Awesome Wrestler and you'll find my page. Have a highlight reel on there. I have like a match or two on there. You guys can find me on all those spots. And of course, you can find links to Jarrett and Johnny Santos on my Instagram because I tag them in all the stuff where you see us. So
Awesome.
you can get them from there. And it's if I'm not mistaken, it's the Jarrett Diaz show on Instagram and Twitter for Jarrett,
Okay.
and El Johnny Santos on Instagram and Twitter. There's not an Uptown Boys page yet. Maybe in the works. Let's see what's going
Okay.
on with that. But
All right.
you guys can find me there. I'm also a gamer. If you guys follow me there, I'm an Xbox guy. I also started using Steam recently. I will be on Twitch soon. Of course, Matt Awesome 17 on Twitch. So I may start taking the laptop with me to shows, and going Twitch streaming during Ring Crew possibly. Maybe doing a Mad Off sometime, like at the merch table with this live, possibly. Still thinking about it, trying to work out the kinks in my head on like how would I set it up. Pretty decent laptop, so might just do it. Nice. But yeah, if you guys want to see me beat some people with chanclas, just let me know. And we will. Listen, I haven't done it yet, and I've been thinking of doing it. But remember a few years, like I would say, in fact, 6 years ago, when Cody Rhodes did the list.
Yep.
I may just do the chancla list. Who knows?
Oh wow! Oh, that would be a little spin on it, if you will. That would be cool. I am down to see that chancla list.
You guys are requesting it. I will do it. Once Don puts this up on his page and people watch this, I want people to say yes to chanclas in June. Because if I get enough, I will be bringing chanclas to the show.
I'm down for some chancla souvenirs. That would be amazing. Boys and girls, we ran 1 hour, 25 minutes, 58, 59, 1 hour, 26 minutes without getting a chancla upside our head. Yes! I cannot believe I made it this long. That's amazing. I really thought I was going to get it within the first 30 seconds or so. Mr. Mr. Awesome, you've been an amazing guest, and I cannot thank you enough for sharing so much information about yourself, your career, and everything around it. And we hope the return of one Mr. Awesome. You were fantastic, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It was an honor to be here. I'm very happy you reached out to me and asked me to be a part of this. I was waiting. I've been waiting. I'm like, time will tell. Let me be on his show, and you did. And I appreciate you very much. Thank you so much for actually taking out time for having me on your show. Because, I know you have a busy life as much as I do, but thank you for having me and letting me, talk for people to know who Mad Awesome is, what chancla style is all about, and where they can find me. And of course, next weekend, PAPW Alley fights. I'll be going face to face, head to head with The Cure, Lucas Chase, and then June 3rd, your boy and Jarrett Diaz, the Uptown Boys, will be going head to head with the hometown favorites, The Haven, for the BST Tag Team Championships. And that's all going to be a great rock and roll show for everybody to go crazy with. Bring streamers. Bring streamers. Bring streamers. I can't stress it enough. Bring streamers. And bring them with all the colors. Like, I don't want to just see, red, white, blue. No, I want to see the pinks, the teals, the blues, the whites, the yellows, the rainbows, the ones with hearts on them, the ones with little poops on them for the wrestlers you don't like. Bring them. Let's have fun. People, this is fun. We got to do this. When you see a wrestler you don't like, get the poop ones and throw them. It's fine. They'll understand you don't like them. But, again, when you see the Uptown Boys come out, I would love to see streamers. I want to hear everybody. Bring your signs, Get ready for a match to be spoken about for ages. And for next weekend, be prepared for, as I call each one of my matches, another banger. Another banger. Yes. What a fine conversation we had with our friend Matt Awesome tonight, boys and girls. We do have to let him go. We can't pull everything out of him so he can return later on and see what's going on later in his career. With everything we've spoken about, this is Don Kincaid. I don't want to let him go. I want to talk more wrestling. I want to talk more Matt Awesome. But before we go, we close this out. You know what you got to do? What's that? And you got to do it with me. Okay. 3. So I'm going to count it. Oh, okay. You count it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah! I think I jumped the gun, but I was very excited. Fine. You did it. Oh, wow. That was fun. It gets a little steam out, my man. That feels good.
I got to do that more often.
I do it.
Yes. I think that's going to be something I might do on a regular basis is give me a big yerp. Yes, absolutely.
Just don't scare your neighbors. Don't scare your neighbors.
This is Certain Pot with Don Kincaid and my very special guest with the power of 1,000 abuelas. It's Matt Awesome. Thank you, my man.